हमारे वक्त की धड़कन, हमारा चिंतन, हमारी भावनाएं, हमारे विचार, कभी कोमल बातचीत तो कभी इंटरेक्शन तेज तर्रार। तय करें मिलकर व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, व्हाट इज राइट। ITV पर अशोक व्यास के साथ इनसाइट टुनाइट। नमस्कार, इनसाइट टुनाइट विद अशोक व्यास कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है। आपका वीकेंड बहुत अच्छा बीता होगा और वीकेंड के साथ साथ जो गतिविधियां भारत में हो रही हैं उनमें से कुछ की झलक आप तक पहुंचाते हुए हम आज के विशेष कार्यक्रम की तरफ आपको ले जाएंगे, जिसमें हम बात करने वाले हैं उन सपनों की जिन्हें रचनात्मकता के साथ पूरा करने के लिए कुछ लोग हम में से अपने पूरे पैशन के साथ, पूरी एकाग्रता, पूरे मनोयोग से जुड़ जाते हैं। सो वील बी टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रिएटिव ड्रीम्स एंड दोज हु आर परस्यूइंग दोज क्रिएटिव ड्रीम्स समटाइम्स रिमाइंड अस ऑफ द वंडरफुल डिश व्हिच इज कॉल्ड samosa. Yes. Why I am remembering samosa right at the beginning of Insight Tonight today, this Monday? The reason is there is a movie called Samosa, and today I have the pleasure of welcoming people who are related to this movie. So there are many creative dreams, and before I talk about few headlines that has caught our attention, let me have the pleasure of introducing Vic Krishna, who is with me here at the studio, has come from DC. He has acted, directed, and has been doing a lot of experiment creatively. And then also, I have the pleasure of welcoming Jyoti Singh. As I welcome you, I also compliment you and congratulate you for being given, conferred this award, which is sitting with me. That is given at People's Film Festival, and that's for acting. Wonderful. And then I also have the pleasure of welcoming Gauri Singh. She's a scriptwriter and she's also following her dreams, and creatively they have come up with a film called Samosa, and there are some other call them adventurous kind of projects that they are working on or they have worked on. So what is your definition of the arrival of Achhe Din? When would you be happy? If I ask the same question to Vic, Vic, you are pursuing your dream of becoming an actor. When would you feel that the days are good?
I would feel that I would have realized my dream when that's all I get to do. If I can wake up and that's all I think about, my next project, my next film, my next story that I want to tell the world, I think that's when I'll be satisfied with me realizing my dream.
Okay, let's go with Vic to Washington, DC, your school days when you were pursuing your acting talent on theater. How that came about?
Well, it all started in high school. I was also part of the television team for our morning announcements, so that's when I kind of got the first taste of being on camera and being sort of a talent or a personality and an actor. And every morning we would tell the news. So it's a small thing, just like the morning news, what's on the menu for that day's lunch, what's going on, what events, what sports are being played. But I looked forward to that every morning. That was my thing. That was my interest, and I got such a great feeling doing that. And slowly I took part in the plays that they do in high schools, musicals like Shakespeare and Grease. And it just caught on to me, and I just loved doing it, and I kept at it.
So I'll come back to you. How your parents felt when they felt that you are devoting a lot of your energy towards something which is not pure study. Many times parents don't appreciate that, but let's move towards Gauri. Gauri, when you felt that there is a need in you and there is urge to write, and what led you to become a script writer?
Well, I always wanted to do that, but basically it was like 5 years ago. I just decided I was going to write about my grandmother. So, and just because of that, I started writing. And I used to write poems. I've always been writing poems. So, you know, I'm good in writing that way. So, the day I decided that I need to write about my grandmother to tell about her struggles, so I started writing. So this was like 3-4 years ago.
So I'll come back to you, because you can write about your grandmother in the form of story, you can write an article, but you wanted to tell her story in the form of a film. Is that right?
That is correct. Because it's a historical piece, that's why.
So we'll talk more to Gauri about her grandmother, and I believe Jyoti Singh's grandmother and Gauri Singh's grandmother are the same because they are sisters. Now, I want to congratulate you again for being the recipient of the People's Film Festival Award. Tell me, how was the feeling for you when you heard that you are the chosen one?
Well, it's like every actor's dream or director or producer, anybody who's in creative work, like to be appreciated for what you've done, because, you can work hard, but ultimately that's basically showing you that you've done something, and it's showing you that you've done a good job at it. And, that's what our goal is ultimately, to affect or to move the audience somehow. And so I think that's a great feeling. It's like a lot of people say, oh, you act well and all, but sometimes just an award, it might be just a small piece. It just gives you like, wow, somebody said nice things about me. Even if your teacher says it or somebody says it, gives you a boost. Like, okay, what you're doing, the direction you're heading is the right direction. So yeah, it was a great feeling, definitely. I wouldn't say no.
मैं आपको दर्शन कराऊं? Samosa. So now that happens to be the name of the film which my guests have worked on. So let me request Jyoti to tell me how the name Samosa became the name, the title.
Well, it was actually not my idea. I was not even involved. It was more because of Vic and Gauri talking to each other and deciding. I had sort of figured out, like, maybe we should name it Only in Queens, because this actually happened in Queens. It is based on a true story. So they actually decided to name it Samosa because I think we had so many scenes of samosa in the film. So it just made sense. And we mentioned samosa a lot of times actually in the film. So that was one of the reasons I think we named it Samosa.
So wonderful. I think one of the tests that you may think is a valid test to test your ability to control yourself is कि आपके सामने समोसे रखे हुए हैं और आप खा नहीं रहे. तो अगर समोसे खाने हो तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं? You can show the trailer of the film Samosa. So watch this small clip which will give you some idea about the film that they have worked on, and then we'll talk more about that. Let's take a look.
Hello. Hi, I'm calling regarding the ad for a one-bedroom apartment. So does that mean I'm going to be living in the living room? You want me to what? Share a bed with you?
The best part about this is, it's warm.
I know. I love it.
So, do you like the place? That's why we have these phones. And you can always come here. Would you like some tea or coffee?
Do you really want to move in?
Yeah, it's okay. You just move her.
Guess where I did?
You have a heater?
Yeah. Ta-ta! Right here.
In the microwave?
You got to treat guys like trash. Don't they treat women like trash? Chal, jaldi jaldi, kutte ki tarah bhaag.
I'll make sure she gets it back to you. I don't know who she thinks she is, but she doesn't know who I am.
You know, I wouldn't charge you anything.
Are you okay?
Welcome back to, I was saying Samosa, but this was trailer of the film Samosa. And let me ask Gauri Singh, whose experience has led to this short film, what was the theme and why you felt this is worthy of being told in the form of film?
I just felt like it was, funny that people live like that, people act like that. I'd never experienced anything like that. And those...
Set the tone. When you say like that, meaning what?
Like, basically that they can walk all over you, that they can walk all over their other partner, and that they will use you anytime. And just the way they live, people live, how the apartments are. And then when you make phone calls looking for a roommate, what kind of questions people ask, and what kind of, So basically, I thought it was interesting. That it was just interesting that we should, make a funny side of it.
So it is interesting that there is something interesting and that needs to be told. And then it is interesting, Vic Krishna, that they considered you capable of directing such a subject where I feel there is a fun side, but there is understanding of relationship, a kind of a complicated relationship between two human beings. So tell me what came to your mind when they were talking to you that will you direct it?
Oh, I saw that Gauri went through actually a very traumatic and memorable bad experience. But when I read the story, all I could see was this equation, which was tragedy plus time can equal comedy. So if you take that angle, and I'm sure you had experiences in your life when it was a rough time, but when you look back on it, there's something to laugh at. There's some goodness or some brightness you can take out of that darkness. So I've had met Jyoti prior on a previous project where I was the assistant director, and that's where our relationship started. And she knew I was interested in directing, and I've done it in other people's projects, and I was doing my own projects as well. So she approached me with the script, I read it, and I said, yeah, this is something we could do.
So now let's go to the producer of the film, which is Jyoti.
That's right.
Now, you know there is a very limited budget that you have at your disposal, and somehow, जैसे हिंदी में कहावत रहती है कि जितना घी डालेंगे उतना ही जो हलवा है वो टेस्टी बनेगा. So that somehow applies for film making as well. तो कम बजट है लेकिन फिल्म बनानी है, तो ये कहाँ से इच्छा ऐसी बनी रहती है, and how do you feel about the whole journey of making samosa?
It was actually very nice because जो भी थे हमारे the people who came in the project, they pretty much did it for actually, just for fun, and it was not like we spent a lot of money. It was more about food that we had to spend money on, just the little equipment or whatever we needed besides. Whatever, everybody came in, and actually everybody did it for free. I don't remember paying anybody actually. Vic edited, he did the lighting, he was pretty much the whole crew. And Sherry, we used her apartment for actually shooting. So we decorated a lot of the stuff was from my place, all the Indian architecture and work, and then we just decorated, made it very Indian looking place. And of course, Didi, who's my singing teacher, Sanjukta Sen, she's the one who sort of played an auntie. I just asked her, Didi, could you please just act in something small? We just need you for a small role. And she said yes. And Pooja, she's upcoming. She's a new artist and a singer and a musician. She sings more blues. So she brought in the music for us, the song. She created the song herself. So, we had people who were interested in just coming together, and just creating a piece of art that we could show. And then basically I submitted it to the film festivals, and that's how, that's where we actually used major funding otherwise. And we didn't submit that much. We only submitted to a few festivals. And for us to even win an award was like amazing. And some of us he's nominated for Best Director for this film in World Music Film Festival, and again nominated again for the Best Actress. So kind of like, we nominated, and this award was from the people. So, and we won 2 other awards. We actually won 2 other awards for this film. One was the Award of Excellence for the Short Film Festival, and then there was a certificate of merit.
So now let's go back. I know when you were watching this film, probably some of you were definitely thinking that I can also do that. And I think that is the beauty of this digital age, that each one of us is capable of realizing our dreams with the help of digital cameras, and I think many edit systems are available very easily, but I'll talk to Vic on that side a little bit more. Before that, Gauri, making this film, who were you looking at as your potential viewer, and where, because you don't have a proper distribution network for films of this kind?
I was only thinking it'll go to the festival. It will only go to the festival, and we really didn't think much of it. We just thought, we just because we were passionate about filmmaking, so let's get this piece together because it sounds interesting, and then let's see where it goes. And basically we made it. So we've had 3 awards for this so far. So
we celebrated with a samosa, of course, but Vic, tell me, directing and editing this kind of film, you were learning as you were working on it, or you would give credit to someone for having taught you?
Well, I think I've done already the whole legwork of that. I've done my learning phase, so I'm at a point where I'm very comfortable editing, directing, and shooting. films or photography. So I've already crossed that hurdle of learning what to do, how to do it, what's right, what's wrong. So I'm at a comfortable stage where I feel capable of taking on projects like this.
So what was the most exciting part of working on Samosa?
Best part is to work with friends that you love working with. I mean,
No, from viewers' point of view, what would you say might be the most fun part for them to watch?
definitely the humor of a bad situation. To be able to take a spin on a bad situation to make it comedic and enjoyable to watch rather than depressing or worrying, I think that's always pleasant.
Describe any such fun scene, Gauri.
One fun scene was basically when she makes her boyfriend bark like a dog. So that was really
I
interesting.
think we saw part of it, but that was with cell phone, is it?
Yes, it was a cell phone because he lived in London, so he would call in. And so she would act as she's upset with him, but she really wasn't upset with him. It was a control thing. And then she would put him on the speaker and she would say, no, stay on, don't go. And I was trying to leave. And so she would put on and then she's like, oh, if you really love me, then, bark like a dog. And he would do that. So I just was surprised, but later it sounded funny. So,
So this really happened, you saw it happening.
all these things actually happened, yes.
So what is the take-home message, Jyoti, from this film?
Well, I think it was more about experience that people live through, and it's a journey that you take, and at that moment it might be very upsetting, but it's basically the message is as time goes on, you can laugh about it. And a lot of times in our life when we go through these situations, and 2 years later we were laughing at it, like we were not like saying, oh my God, but this is so weird that something like this could even happen. So it was more like telling a story, bringing out a story that just happened, and that's what is creative. You can think of so many topics in this world, what happens, and just create a story. And not every story will have a message, but there's always a deeper Latin line there, like saying, okay, you're having a bad experience now, but tomorrow it might be better, and it's fine. You passed it, you lived it, it's over, and it's great. Now you can have fun with it. So that's the whole point.
So the whole point is to have fun, and in order to have fun, sometimes we go to films which are lavishly shot. So Vic, moving towards you, did you go to any formal training school to learn the art of filmmaking, or you did it on your own?
No, I learned just by doing and self-research. I was just so into learning this field and learning the technical aspects of it that I just took it upon myself to research, experiment with my camera, learn about lighting, learn about how to direct actors, learn about acting itself and editing softwares, learning how to use them, different effects. It's really just a work of labor, a work of love, just to do what I wanted to do and just keep practicing.
So practicing is important, but sometimes maybe formal training also helps, or maybe if you have some role models in the field, that probably also helps you in excelling. So in your case, who
In my
would you
case,
be?
I would say my pick of favorite director would be Steven Spielberg, and I'm always reminded of his story that he actually got rejected applying to film school, and he's one of the best out there. So I mean, some of my favorite filmmakers don't have any formal training, and I constantly tell people you can't teach creativity. It's in you. It's something you want to express out of your heart and soul, and that can't be taught. So you can learn technical aspects by formal training, but to tell a story or to make people feel and emote, that's something that has to come from you honestly, and that can't be taught.
I would like to slightly disagree with you on that, because there are few things that can be taught which would help you in manifesting your creativity. But let's hear from Gauri. What do you think? Because there is a craft, there are certain tools that are being applied, whether it is filmmaking, whether it is theater, whether it is writing. Would you say that the other element also is important and it helps?
The other element, meaning
Other element meaning learning formally.
learning formally, not necessarily, not always. You can self-learn, but also, I guess in the process of, like if you're making a film, if you go and hang out with people who are making film, you can learn different aspects, because I learned art direction. I was heading the art direction for this movie, The Dignified Princess, and I learned so much, like how the camera is looking at it. I thought the room was ready, and then the camera guy would come and say no, and he would change things around. I was like, why? This looks beautiful. He said, not on camera. So I had to look at it from different angles. So you learn in the process. You don't really have to go for formal learning.
So now the process or formal learning. In your case, Jyoti, you learned art of acting from Roshan Taneja and Tom Alter. How was that experience of learning from them?
Well, I think if you are somebody who's shy, and I started acting when I was very young. I started in nursery, and then at around fourth grade, I stopped. The reason was because I had to do an Adam and Eve role, and I had to be like pretty much nude, so I refused to do it. I actually didn't show up to school. This was in India, and since then I did not act until college. And I was fine until college. When I did in college, I did theater. And then as I grew older, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but I became very shy. So I remember going to different training courses in Manhattan, and I was very shy. I was not able to express myself because maybe it was accent, maybe it was the way I experienced my life in the US. And then, but because I'm a very outgoing person otherwise. So when these courses came in play, I slowly started opening up. But what really helped me was the movement class with Roshan Taneja. And it was doing our actual movement class where they gave us some music, and they gave us pick, like we had 4 choices. So I picked a music, and basically you had to create your own actions. You didn't have to be a dancer, it doesn't matter, but you had to dance. So my whole thing was I picked a music that was classical, and I did the life journey to all the festivals, then to death. They were recording us. So that really opened me up, and the techniques in a way helped me to realize that I have to be real, and I have to be true to myself as a person, and when I am there, I have to be that person, how I would be if I was in that situation, kind of like that. And that's what opened me up as an actor, as a human being, to understand what is needed as an actress. And I think it helped me. Now, not everybody who acts has a lot of training. So I think it's person's journey and how they learn. And I think because I was shy, I couldn't do it. Now, years back when I was a kid, I was doing fine. But as I grew older, I was lacking. And in the filming, I was thinking, acting is acting, or looks are important. But then I realized it's not about looks. When you cry, you actually cry. And when you cry, you can actually feel the emotions. You actually cry. Like in Dignified Princess, I had a scene where I actually cry, and I was surprised that I was able to cry and was able to come out, and the whole scene, like I cried for we shot and of course there's so many takes, 1 after take, 2 takes, 3 takes, 4 takes, and I was able to cry all 4 takes. So you grow as you understand the character very well. I understood my grandmother, and that was easy. In 9/11, I understood Sarita. I made, that was me as a person. So in Irade Momke, I'm just a friend. So there are different things.
We'll come to Irade Momke, and if she could cry 4 times, at least you can cry. You can laugh 4 times or umpteen times, because that also is important. And I believe the balance, if you cry, then you should also be open to laugh. And sometimes we laugh at ourselves while taking our own pictures, because if somebody is taking a picture, they say a smile. But now these days, selfie has become the key word. So there is a short film, Selfie. Vic, tell me, you have been a part of this short film. What is it?
Yeah, that was one short film that I had wrote and directed and edited as well. And I've been lately doing seasonal shorts, like for holidays, upcoming holidays. We've been doing shorts to celebrate the holiday. So Selfie was a Valentine's Day short film, and it was basically a love story between 2 strangers. One was a photographer and one was a tourist, touring Washington, D.C. So it's just like how they connect, their paths connect in that story.
So how Selfie helped them in connecting?
Selfie was the tourist character, the girl, is going around the city taking selfies of her, and she has a sad face. So this photographer from afar, who's taking landscape photography and sights, notices this girl taking selfies of herself, and kind of takes it upon himself to go behind her and take photos for her without her knowing. Because rather than taking selfies, which just shows you your arm cut off, and it's not as pleasing as a professional photographer's photo. So this photographer goes behind her and follows her at these various sites, and DC is full of all those Washington monuments, the White House, all those sightseeing places, and takes photos for her, and we just see how that story ends, or how that connects them to.
So now let us take a selfie. That is a song, a very, very well-known song nowadays, and we also want to talk about another film which is Irade Mom Ke, and you're part of that film as well. Tell us, what is it?
Basically, Irade Mom is about dreams, and it's a drama. It's a film that basically is about two people, two married people, and what journey they go through. And one has a dream, and she, no matter what it takes, she wants to accomplish that dream. And she, in the process, she's like so focused on the dream, she forgets about what her other part of her life is. So it's basically a drama about a couple. And what I play in that film is I'm a supporting cast, and what I play is a friend who's trying to help my friend because I think she's wrong and just focusing on her career and forgetting about her marriage aspect of the thing. So I'm always like trying to tell her, what's right, but ultimately it's up to the person to, actually decide what they want. So the film is basically about a woman wanting to accomplish her dreams, and she has a business idea and she wants to accomplish it no matter what.
So there is a conflict between career and family life, and let's take a short clip of this film to understand what is Irade Mom Ke all about, which is being screened on 4th June, and more details of that right after this small clip from the film.
तू अब तक कामयाब नहीं है शोभना, तू सिर्फ किसी और के लिए नौकरी करती है। तेरा मकसद शोभना, तेरा मकसद।
गिरने के डर से चलो ही ना, ये कहा की रीत है।
तो किस टाइप की लड़की है और किस मिट्टी की बनी है?
सपनों की। तू ही तो एक है जिसकी वजह से मुझे थोड़ी बहुत खुशी नसीब होती है।
सर से पांव तक लड़की ही अलग है यार। हर बार यही बहाना, पैसे नहीं है, और जिंदगी यूं चली जा रही है शोभना, यूं।
मेरे सपनों का कुछ मोल ही नहीं तुम्हारी आंखों में। ऐसे नहीं कि शोभना को ये अच्छा लगेगा तो ये करूं।
ज़्यादातर लोगों के इरादे मोम की तरह होते हैं। सुख, चैन और प्यार की गर्मी मिलने पर इरादे पिघल जाते हैं।
इरादे मोम के, लेकिन हमारी तो इच्छा ये है कि इरादे फौलादी हों, इरादे ऐसे हों जिन्हें पूरा किए बिना आपको चैन न मिले। और मुझे याद आती है सर्वेश्वर दयाल सक्सेना जी की एक कविता का मुखड़ा, जिसमें वो आशीर्वाद देते हुए अपनी बेटी को कहते हैं कि जा तेरे सपने बड़े हों। तो जो बड़े बड़े सपने, जो संसार को और बेहतर बनाने के सपने हैं, वो आप और हम मिलकर देखें, जुड़ें और जोड़ें, और उस तरफ साथ साथ कदम आगे बढ़ाएं जहां सबके लिए दुनिया अच्छी हो जाए। और उस तरफ छोटी छोटी पहल अपनी छोटी छोटी रचनात्मकता के साथ करने वाले विक कृष्णा आज हमारे साथ आए, एंड देन ज्योति सिंह एंड गौरी सिंह, Once again, Jyoti, congratulations for being awarded for your work, the People's Film Festival. And Gauri has written a wonderful documentary, The Dignified Princess. A lot more would come from their vision and from your vision. Do join me tomorrow, same time, here at ITV. Till then, namaskar.